Hello, welcome back to Diary of a Creator. If this is your first time here, welcome. I am Victoria, the soul-led career coach, and this is a channel for ambitious, freedom-seeking souls like me who refuse to settle for the ordinary. So if you are feeling stuck in a life that no longer fits, you're starting to question your path and craving more, then you're in the right place. So if my content resonates, I would love it if you could like, share, and subscribe to help me to grow this channel. Okay, so today's topic I'm going to be diving into is really the truth around what it takes to build a freedom-based career and life. And to really start this one off, I want to throw the question of what is freedom to you? Because freedom looks different to everyone. So for me, freedom is the ability to forge my own path, make my own decisions without restriction, and live how I actually want to live, which for me sits outside of the norm of what others are doing and what others expect. It is a more freedom-based lifestyle of moving around, but ultimately, at the deep, deep core of freedom, for me, it's about the courage to truly be who you are and to express yourself freely in whichever way comes from within. For the sake of this video today, I'm really going to be focused in on freedom-based as it means to more so around the career. So thinking outside of the typical systems, out of the 9 to 5, so likely your own business venture, freelancing, anything that really allows you to be your own boss and your own direction and guide in your career and your life. And I know it's been a hype, freedom-based living or nomad, digital nomad, freelance, gig economy, side hustle. And I mean, this has been going on for a while because it was something I first started exploring probably like 8 or 9 years ago. It was off one of the back of my backpacking trips, and I really, really wanted to find a way to see how I could make that work. But I could never find a way that suited me back then at the time. There just wasn't as many options out there. And for me, I wasn't prepared to sacrifice purpose and meaning just for lifestyle. Now, I live in Bali and there is a mix of people living the freedom-based lifestyle, but it's in very different ways. Yeah, it's in very different ways. So you do have those that really just focus in on freedom-based as a lifestyle. It's more find a career that enables that. You do have those that are pursuing their soul-led purpose, their mission, which is where I come from, which is why I say I couldn't find a way to make this work, because ultimately that was my driver. And so even when I started looking for purpose, I actually hadn't even factored in that I could have this. I was looking for work that made me feel meaning and service, until I realized that you can do both. And I think COVID was really a bit of a pinnacle for this realization that most things can be done online, and cue the freedom of the lifestyle. But I want to say that this is not how social media makes it out to be. And I don't know if it's just my reality, but the passive income, drinking coconuts on the beach, working 1 hour a day, this shit just does not happen very often, and it definitely doesn't happen overnight. You may get there eventually, but I think it's just not particularly the reality at the beginning. Where I'm going to be diving into this video is more around the mindset shifts of what it fundamentally takes to start being free at the depth of that. And really, the freedom to not only have a freedom-based lifestyle and career, however that looks for you, but also to have the freedom to step into whatever aligns for you. Your mindset is the foundation of everything when it comes to being able to create these kind of path changes and step into a path that is ultimately in alignment. Because if you can't address your mindset, then you can do all of the actions. You can do what a lot of people here in Bali have done, where they almost try and back engineer to get the lifestyle to work. Are they free? But the thing is, if you don't fundamentally feel free inside, you're never going to feel free. And that is really what this is about. So in another video, I will touch on the more tangible working actions of what it actually takes to start stepping into a freedom-based career in life. But this is really the honest truth around the mindset shifts that need to occur and the things that you need to be willing to step into in order to actually make this work long term in a sustainable way. It's a full-blown self-discovery journey to work out all of the ways that you are not free, all of the ways that you are very fundamentally reliant on systems that are keeping you trapped, and all of these different things. And so I want to walk through 5 key areas. They do interrelate into each other. These are things that I have or am currently shifting through. And this is the thing. Where's freedom? Our awareness is only housed within a framework that we understand, like the Russian dolls, right? So you might think you're free in your current perspective, but then you shift your perspective, you go, oh, I wasn't actually that free. And then you keep going. So we're only as free as we can perceive we are free. This is an ongoing soul journey, really, to free ourselves. So, first one, and this is what really has been my reality, probably like including all of the study and then the startup of the business, it's probably a period of like 3-4 years or something like that, where you will have a period where you feel anything but free. Because freedom doesn't come overnight, it is a gradual process of carving away with courage and with dedication and with time. So, inching closer and closer to your vision. But at the beginning, you're going to be in this period where you are almost traversing 2 worlds. So, I started my study back when I was full-time in a vice president role. You can only imagine that having that commitment plus on top my vision for where I'm going kind of didn't create a lot of time freedom. In fact, it created a lack of time freedom, but that was where I was dedicated. That is what I wanted to do. And that is really, it's a base requirement, is that there is going to be a time period where you are going to be juggling, because things don't like come off of the ground necessarily super quick, especially in the soul-led sense, because you are getting, call it tested, or your embodiment is growing as you step through. So you're going through this personal development journey as you're moving through, and things just take time, because you wouldn't go and listen to an industry thought leader who had been in the industry for 6 months. Like, you're probably not going to listen to that person. Why? Because they haven't actually embodied what they're talking about. You need to have certain things occur for you to be able to embody what you're learning, and that takes time. My advice is almost park even trying to go into a career in business initially, and just do the self-discovery and allow yourself to move through it and embody it, and it will become clearer. Don't rush. I did kind of try and rush, but then I got my slaps in the face. But there will be a time where you are going to have to give up certain things in order to really start to shift your focus. Do it in a way that is manageable for you. It will still probably be challenging, but it's not going to throw you into like burnout, overwhelm, and additional stress. And this is something that I have learned through the process. And if someone had told me this at the beginning, I'd be like, oh, shut up. But I don't think I've ever heard a word more, is patience. And I'm finally coming to that of like, there is no rush. You are exactly where you're meant to be. That rush is just your ego. And you can't rush the process of embodying your gifts. And so that would be my advice. That's the advice I would have given myself. Just slow the fuck down, like, honestly. And just before you divert your energy on other people in serving, just keep it on you, because you are the energy that you're going to work with. And then look at the business and the career and the serving and all of that. So, second point, and this is the hardest, and this will be ongoing work. To truly be free, you have to let go of everything that's keeping you trapped. And the letting go process is where you start to realize just how unfree, if that's even a word, trapped you were. And just thinking of this stable salary, this one was hard for me. I didn't realize it until I left it. And then I was like, Oh, okay, that's a real trap control thing. It creates a lot of feeling of safety and security, and then you release it and you just realize actually how attached into it you were. Relationships, when you take a different path, people will fall away. Some of your support networks will crumble, not because there's anything ill-intentioned or anything like that. It's just you're going in a different direction, you're going in a different energy. They probably don't know how to support you in that because they don't. It's different. So that will fall away. Your belief set. Now, you're going to start to come up against your belief set when you're trying to create freedom because your ego and your ego mind isn't designed for freedom, it's designed for safety. And so we have to let go of these parts that have been keeping us really in our container. This is the hardest part about freedom is coming up against yourself and your environment that you have created to realize just how trapped you are in it. And by slowly over time, it's about releasing these things because there is no point in having a freedom-based lifestyle on the outside that looks like, beaches and coconuts and not working very much if you fundamentally don't feel free inside. It's like people that create the success and fundamentally don't feel enough within. It doesn't matter what they get, they don't feel what they're trying to chase. And this is the same with freedom. If you're chasing freedom, but you don't feel free inside, there's just no point. The belief set is a key one, and we all have a core set of limiting beliefs that are really what we've built through childhood, which keep us safe. They keep us in plain small and in a container. I have a shadow belief quiz, which has got the 6 most common ones, which are going to fundamentally be showing up when you're trying to create any form of freedom-based career, life, whatever it is. I will pop the link at the end of the video. And if you want to dive into that, then there is an email series which basically walks you through uncovering how these beliefs are actually showing up, because these beliefs are like anchors. If you don't look at them and become aware of them, you're going to keep trying to drive your boat forward to go into wherever you're going, but this anchor's stuck. That is the hardest one. Number 3, freedom can only be found in the unknown. And this is the same with fulfillment. Now, think of it this way, right? If freedom and fulfillment existed in your current reality, you wouldn't be searching for them. So you need to go outside of your current reality, which is the unknown. And as I was saying in the first point, you will be called to let go of things before you're aware of what is even coming. So you almost have to jump off the cliff before you even know really what is going to be there. The same goes with this. For the freedom, you have to step into the uncertainty, because the uncertainty is going outside of what you know. It's outside of your beliefs. I keep going to the Truman Show because it's just the best example of it. If you've watched it and he gets to the very end of the TV set and then he finally works out what's going on, and then he opens the door and there's just a massive expanse and he's free of the TV set. This is what it is. This is metaphorically what we're being called to do, is to push up into that tension and discomfort of going beyond what we know, to open that door to go, oh my God, there's a whole world out there that I didn't even know. So this is in multiple facets, because you could very much be thinking inside a box when it comes to career shifts. I certainly was. I started investigating organizational psychology. So not totally far off, but that's in the box thinking. Outside of the box thinking is, oh my God, I could actually have my own business and do it my complete own way, which, as I said before, I hadn't even clocked that I could do that, because I needed to shift through these things to open up the perspective. And this is what stepping into the unknown is about. It's actually understanding all of the possibilities that are actually there. Number 4, freedom requires trust in a vision, fundamentally in yourself, but also in the universe and the natural laws that are working, and the I guess, getting to a point where you fundamentally understand and embody over time that things are working for you, not against you. Because without this kind of mindset, and I certainly started this journey with my victim mindset is very much in the pity party lens of life. It's like, why is this happening to me? Why do you make it so hard? Why can't you make this easier? And I hit a lot of this ego last year, and I didn't get very far because you're basically you're not going to get far with that. If you can't feel trust, it's going to feel very hard to feel freedom. It's almost like, when you used to play those games when you were kids, I don't know if you did, but we did in camps where they would have someone stand behind and then you would have to like fall back. Because to get to the freedom, you have to step out of what you know. If you fundamentally don't feel that you're going to be caught in the way that you're meant to be caught, it's going to be very hard to even get out of the limitation. And that is what I found, which is why this was around that time where I was like, I'm going to go back because I was fundamentally not trusting both myself and the universe at the time. And there's a dynamic there too, right? And a lot of this will go into your end vision. If you don't have a vision, it's in you. It's trusting that niggle and that voice that keeps pulling you to this is right. And it's really trusting in your own intuition, which takes time to build as well. It's almost, and like rightly or wrongly, the ego likes to have proof. And I've certainly been able to build proof in my intuition over time. And it's helped me to really lean into it and just like hear it and go, okay, go. But yeah, if you don't have a strong enough vision or trust in yourself, actually stepping into freedom is going to be incredibly difficult because the safety will feel too, the pull of the safety is just gonna just overwhelm because your anchor, like if you think of your boat and you've got your anchors pulling you of like, this is safe, and you're trying to drive your boat and you haven't put any coordinates in, the boat's just going to be like this, and then eventually it's just going to give up. If you have a strong enough direction and trust in where you're going and what you're doing, then you have an ability to work with what will come up, which is all of the doubts and the fear of like, oh my God, what am I doing? You have a better ability to work with that. So that's why that is a fundamental thing to be building. Again, another link I have is a career clarity map, which is about building that vision through cutting out of the conscious mind. It's using hypnotherapy, so it's dropping you straight into here to start to get the answers and then a reflection to move through. So start working on that as well and really just kind of feeling into that too. And the final one, which has been my biggest shadow journey in since I left corporate, is to be free, you need to work on your relationship to time and money. So these are the two biggest control mechanisms on the planet. Yet, funnily, they are the things that enable freedom as well. So it's this dichotomy. If you think of even just the corporate environment and time and money, we obviously trade our time for a consistent salary. And why I say control is because if you strip away time for people to really have inner exploration, they will never understand their purpose. They're just going to keep chugging along in the survival pattern of life because their time's gone and you've given them the money. And so it's just this like consistent clog. And we all get trapped in it. I definitely was trapped and I didn't even realize it until I got off the hamster wheel and I was like, whoa. Okay. And that's fundamentally the thing that almost made me turn around. And why I say money is because a lot of this spiritual community or soul led will discount money. Like you shouldn't want money. And it's not about wanting money. It's just actually the reality of this planet is money is a fundamental resource that we need to quite literally survive. If you want to have an impact in this world, you want to reach more people, you want to do any of these things, you want to improve, like do courses, all of these things, you need money. until that mechanism goes away, everyone needs money. And to live a freedom-based lifestyle, you need money. It's interesting because this is where a lot of the belief work will be, because we all have this weird relationship with it. I definitely do. There was a lot of shame around it, and then a lot of beliefs around how I could. And my mind was very stuck in like corporate 9 to 5, make money, and not being able to see how you can do that outside of it. But let me tell you, there are multiple ways to do it. It's very much a belief thing. But if you, time and money keep us trapped and set us free. It's literally the polarity of the two, because also if you think of freedom, people want time freedom. But also, if you really truly want to be free, you need to create time and space to deep dive within. So you need to carve that out. If you want to travel, if you want to live the freedom-based life, you need money to do that. Where I would recommend to start is just do a reflection on that. Exactly where does your time go, and exactly what is your relationship with money, and how do the two interconnect? Because you're going to start to see a pattern for how you could be trapped in certain things, and even beyond work, how you could be trapped in a time and money machine like Instagram or all these social media things like the shopping. Just look at it, really, really look at it for your time and money, and how much of your time and money is not free, basically. Freedom requires courage. It is required all of my courage to continue moving this way. On a tangible perspective, have created it. I am out of the system. I have found ways to live a lifestyle I want. Is my mind completely free? No, it's not. And this is where that work is of, when I say letting go of things that are keeping you trapped, this is an ongoing journey and process. If you are on the path of the soul, this will just be, as I said, it's our awareness. You just, the more you get more and more free, the more you bring in a light and shed a light onto all the ways that you are not, which will be a lot, because that's just the reality that we are in. But if you want to truly create a freedom-based career and life, then start with the mindset, start with this work. This is the heavier work, but ultimately this is the energy to create a freedom-based career and life that actually truly aligns with you.